So let's talk about the HTTP responses. In the previous video we have seen the HTTP request, and for that request a response will be sent from the web server to the client, and that response can be resource or an error. So if there is a correct resource, it will send the resource. If there is no resource found on the web server, it will send an error, and those error codes are defined like this. If you get the 100 or 120 or 130, that means starting with 1 you get the information response code, and if you starting with 2 you get the success response code, like 200, 220, 230. It means that your resource is there on the web server. And if you get 300, 350 or so on, which starts with 3, it means that redirection code. That means you have requested a resource, and that resource has been transferred to another web server. So the code start with the 4, like 404, 405, etc. are the client side error. So you are asking a resource which is not there in your on that web server, or you are asking the request in a incorrect format, and the response code that start with 5, like 503, 504, etc. are the server errors. Means the server has some problem with the network connectivity, or server may go on maintenance or something like this. Servers are not available at that time. In that case you will get the 503 error. So let's see the structure of the response. So in the previous video we have seen the get request. In that get request we are asking the test.html. So in that case, let's say that request has been sent to the web server, and the web server has the test.html. So then web server sends this request to the client. Let's see this. So first one is http/1.1, which is the protocol, and 200 stands for the status code. And if you do not know what that means, it will specify in the ASCII format or like human readable format, saying okay. So okay, the client requested test.html and it is found. And the date means the when the server is sending the response to the client, that is the date, like the timestamp. And the server information is also been sent, and you can see server Apache 2.1. so by simply requesting some a random file, you can get some server information and also the version of the server running. So if you found some exploits on the exploit DB, you can just try to run them. And the content length is size of that HTML file requested, and the content type is text or HTML. And the next one is somewhat new to us, that is set cookie. We did not see in the request one. So when we request a resource, then the set cookie value will be sent in the response. This is generally now in 2020 almost even the blog site is using the set cookies, because set cookies are used to monitor the users interaction. Like if you visit the amazon.com website and you do some shopping about the graphic cards or RAM or any other games, then this cookies defines that this user has been searching for graphic cards or some computer parts. Then if you visit any other website, and you can see the advertisement related to this your Amazon searches, that's because they use the cookies to keep track of your users interests and searches. So that's why today almost every even blog post have this set cookie options. You can see, if you visit any other website, it says cookies accepted or yes or no. So that is about the set cookie. And last modified is this date and time, or the timestamp indicates that test.html file has modified in this date, and after that it's not been modified. And this is about the response information, and down after one line you will get the actual data. So the content in the test.html, which is this one. So I hope you have understood. First we got the HTTP 1.1 protocol, and this is called response line, and you get the response code status code and the human readable format of that, and you can see the parameters names and values, and finally you got the actual resource body, that is test.html. So that's all for this HTTP responses.